and Liberation is only 7 years old. When this organization was started, we didn't have many branches. In fact, we had a very small number of people who met together in San Francisco and decided to build a new revolutionary organization inside the U.S. Even though we were small in number at the time, we were imbued with confidence about the task in front of us. It was our conviction then that the U.S. capitalist system, and indeed the world system, premised on capitalism was about to enter a period of profound crisis. We believed that we were on the verge of a new movement, that young people in the U.S. and young people around the world would inevitably take action against the growing misery created by capitalism and its growing contradictions. We also believed then, and we believe now, that there's only one alternative to capitalism, and that is socialism. Today, the Party for Socialism and Liberation has branches in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Boston, Miami, Seattle, Albuquerque, and many other cities. In Southern California alone, we have members in San Diego, Long Beach, Orange County, Inland Empire, and all over the Southland, which many of them you will hear from today. We are involved in many working class struggles, including the anti-war movement, the immigrant rights movement, the student movement, the labor solidarity movement, the LGBT movement, the Occupy movement, and the struggle against police brutality. We have regular meetings and classes right here in LA, as was mentioned, and also in cities that do not have branches yet, such as Long Beach, San Diego, and the Empire. The conference that you're taking part in today is one in a series of conferences that have taken place in San Francisco and Chicago thus far. Today we're living in such exciting times, sisters and brothers. The past few months have seen militant struggle and uprisings all over the U.S., all over the world, and in just a few weeks, the Occupy movement has swept the U.S. If we look around this room, we can see many new faces, many different people representing all walks of life. I can't speak to what brought each of you here personally, though I look forward to hearing from everyone throughout the day. But my point is that more and more people are beginning to question the system that has exploited us for so long. People are taking to the streets all over the U.S. to occupy their cities and demand justice, equality, jobs, and education. There has been a reemergence of a class struggle in the U.S., of struggle against the 1%. In every city, at every occupation, people are standing together in the face of police, repression, and realizing their collective strength. From Wisconsin to Wall Street, Oakland to LA, the people are coming together to organize and fight back against this criminal system that creates so much homelessness, poverty, and hunger for the overwhelming majority of us. What we are witnessing, sisters and brothers, is a changing consciousness of people here in the U.S. And that's why we are here today. At this conference, you will hear from activists and organizers who have participated and led numerous struggles in Southern California. We're here to learn and to educate, to connect, to organize, and in that way build and expand our movement. We're here to make real change, and in change that can only come from the bottom up. Not the shallow change promised by capitalist politicians, but deep systematic changes that puts people over profit and improves the quality of life for working and poor people here in the U.S. We're here to learn about and to build socialism. You've all taken the first step by coming here today, and we thank you. If you like what you hear, hopefully by the end of the day, or if not sooner, you'll want to take the next step and join the party. The misery wrought by the capitalist system is all around us. Right now we're in the middle of a 3-year-long economic crisis with no end in sight. More and more workers are losing their jobs, their homes, while students are finding it harder to get classes and to even pay for college. A struggle that many of us in this room, including myself, know all too well. Those who are still working are being told to take pay cuts, to sacrifice their money and security for their families so that the corporations can continue to make greater and greater profits. If you're looking for evidence of the injustice of the capitalist system, we can take a look just at California alone. So California is one of the richest states here in the U.S. It has the 8th largest economy in the entire world. The 8th largest economy in the entire world. Yet it also has some of the highest rates of unemployment, the most foreclosures, and rampant homelessness as well. California is second only to Nevada in unemployment. with an official rate of 12% as of September this year. But as we all know, the real unemployment rate is nearly twice that, since only those receiving unemployment benefits are officially counted, which excludes those who have stopped looking for jobs, the underemployed, etc. Nationally, in the richest country in the world, only 58% of working age adults have a job. 58%. These statistics are the worst in 30 years. It is a shocking fact that we have the same number of jobs today that we did in the year 2000, although the population has increased by 30 million since 2000. When it comes to foreclosures and evictions, California is among the highest, with one foreclosure per every 239 households. Banks continue to seize people's homes with no sign of foreclosure filings to decrease in their sight. Cuts to education in California alone have amounted to millions of dollars in the last 4 years. Right now, LAUSD is facing a $400 million deficit. More than 40,000 teachers and paraprofessionals have been laid off and given pink slips, and I'm sure there are some examples here in this room of people. Thousands more janitors, secretaries, nurses, and specialists have lost their jobs as well. Our public education is in a state of crisis, and really it has been for a while now. Let's look at the lucrative passing of Jerry Brown's plan for saving education, which actually does the complete opposite by cutting another $18 billion, extending taxes for poor and working class people, in turn attacking welfare, housing, and education. And to top it off, CSU Board of Trustees this week voted to increase 2012 tuition another 9%, despite militant student and faculty protests outside whose voices and force broke through the doors and literally shattered the glass doors outside the Chancellor's office in Long Beach. They voted to raise full-time undergraduate tuition by $498 a year, bringing the total annual cost to $5,970. During the Iraq War, people flooded into the streets to say that we have more in common with the people of Iraq than with the big oil fat cats on Wall Street. And now there's the Afghanistan war, which the majority of people are against. Immigrants rose up and defeated the racist Sessions-Brenner bill by taking to the streets across the U.S. Here in LA, there were some of the largest protests the nation and the city has ever seen. Millions of people came out and pushed back this bill. LGBT people all over the country flooded into the streets in large numbers to protest bigoted Proposition 8. The Answer Coalition in just days was able to organize one of the largest marches Silver Lake has ever seen, of over 20,000 people. In Egypt, the people rose up and inspired the world. In Wisconsin, there were placards that acknowledged the importance of Egypt, especially in relation to the struggle taking place for union rights. The murder of Troy Davis by the racist criminal system sparked outrage and a renewed struggle against the racist death penalty. The bank bailouts and outright brutal attacks on workers and students have sparked the Occupy Wall Street movement. As we have seen, it is the unity and the creation of a mass movement that is going to change the world. Everything that we have won has been done in the streets, and it is how ultimately we will win. The PSL has been in the streets and a part of all the struggles that I listed, and many more. We believe that this new protest movement can turn into the kind of movement that can challenge and defeat the dictatorship of Wall Street. We have much to cover these next couple of hours and many people to hear from, and it is a lot to cover. There are speakers from all sorts of struggles, and I'm looking forward to meeting, learning, strategizing, and organizing with every one of you. I say it's time for people like you and me to stand up and build a powerful and united movement for justice and for real liberation that shakes the foundations of this outdated oppressive system. In the words of Karl Marx, workers of the world unite. Thank you.